Alright, today is December 27th, 22. I uploaded a video just a little while ago from yesterday on the 26th. I had went to Giant Eagle in Louisville on the 26th, right before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, there's a little auto zone at the end. There should be a camera outside. There's a blue car with its hood open. It's part of this. The guy's yelling out, I feel bad about all of this. I actually talked to our family. They didn't know anything about this. I should have talked to them before. It really is just them stealing from the case. Okay, and they're out there, and I got my client, and Johnny will just ignore them. They knew. Come on now. They knew. They knew. They knew. They're all part of it. It's just coming out, becoming common knowledge. The only thing going on is they're stealing. And just like Christmas Eve, when I was over at my son Danny and my daughter-in-law Jen's, we were talking about my door getting kicked in on the 6th day. Well, we knew that happened because it got kicked in the wall. We were all freaking out. There was nothing missing. Dave made up the excuse of realtor passing out keys and it was off the market. Nobody had a key in there. It was in a lockbox, and they gave us a code and we got the key out of the lockbox ourselves. We don't have to pass out other keys. Then, them seeing orange and grapefruit sized bruises, lemon size, and I had them everywhere. And how I almost passed out the first week of when I tried to mow the lawn. Well, we thought you were working too hard. I was working that hard at Lennox, unloading that house into the storage unit in Danny's. So I don't get dizzy like that. Well, the lawn, matter of fact, I go out and walk a couple of miles out there. So why would I get dizzy there? Exactly. It's because they were deep breaking me, and I told them that. And I said, some guy is claiming that he was stalking me and your dad. He's photoshopping shower scenes and everything. Police have been looking into this. And I said, some guy, where people have been coming up, where they're making up that I had charges and lying to go along with it. For this weirdo stalking dad and I was breaking in daybreak, talking to me, and that's why I had bruises. And I, they knew nothing. We remember you being dizzy. We remember you almost passing out. We remember seeing all those bruises on you. We thought you were working too hard. What do you mean some weirdo was watching you and dad? I said he was supposed to Photoshop shower scenes and everything else and date rape drug confessions. You don't remember. And I was getting sick a lot. We knew you were getting sick a lot. Someone gets sick before. See, on the third day, David hit the boar in the face, ran off to the store, met Michelle's family. The agent from out of the area. I told you, since her mother break Memorial Day weekend 2019, it's for my daughter, her husband dates, and it's our family watching her doing the screaming at Walmart 62 at the food counter of Walmart 62. Well, where the young blonde girl, Michelle, at Faith Family Church, my dad's FBI, he works the case ID Dave. There's that young blonde guy that, with his hair part, I was like, Dixie seen him, John seen him, Darlene seen him, follow me around. Spent him at Judge P, retired Judge P, looks like a little white Santa Claus, friends with Ludwig, okay? The guy with white hair drove a medium blue truck from the Freemasons, named Bill. Same thing. Could be brothers. They look like Michelle. Blonde hair girl. That looks like Judge P. Judge P's old enough to be grandpa or an old uncle. It's our family watching her doing this. They're in that store together. Family outing. Dave walks in, asks him to kill him. They're running an embezzlement screen out of the informant program. Sure will. Kicking my door 3 days later. Start Dave rape drugging me. Photoshopping scenes. Playing with me. And then when I get the house done, attack. And then scare me enough, so I call the FBI. And then when I tried to report what happened at Huntington Bank, where the guy came out and threatened to knife me, and I got away from him, and I get over to I turn my cart to the bank, and the Pizza Hut lady's getting paid to stalk me, and the banker's screaming at it, they're going at it, and then they walk off together. It's all under tape and audio. You Larry, commission later arrest. I'm like, what? I said, see you. After I called the hotline, we'll have an agent call you back. I lived in Portage County. should have went to Akron. I googled who's over in Akron. Should a Stark County FBI task force agent get it? No. Should he even know about it? No. He wasn't even on his books. But that's his kid. He's running a scam. So he grabs it. Okay? The night before, he's the one that goes up to Apostolic Church of Barberton and tells on me. Witnessed by a Stark County sheriff that looks like Judge Timothy Ludick. Where Putt Paymer screamed, "My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there." Yeah. Because I told you. Where the attempted kidnap, attempted carjacking, following rounding, and attempted break and knowing the security system. Dave wanted me dead because he wanted Katie. That's where the 5,000-6,000 disappeared. And we move up there, and I just think he's cheating. I can't figure out who's doing this to me. Then he hits me in the board in the face. He goes off and meets the Looney Tunes. And 3 days later, they kick in my door, and then I'm getting sick, dizzy, waking up with bruises. And they're stalking me because they're serial killers. Okay? They let me get done with that house, and then Dave throws a fit thing of anger. And I go out and start looking for another job. They have a person impersonating me. Cost me that job. And the one manager verified it to the other manager. It wasn't me. Tried to get back, but it was too weird. Then Katie's leaving threats with 3 people in the mall. She's going to have, her church is going to have me killed. I don't hang up with Terry with a phone call. They could be involved. Okay. And the ministers. Okay. And then, Dave followed me down to die for his girlfriend. It was no vivid dream. It's very much awake. And I'm freaking out. You don't process right when you're being Dave raped. Afterwards, you're still loopy. And, you know, I go to Honey to make it, calls me, "Where are you at?" I'm buying something for dinner. He hangs up and won't answer his phone back. I know I have to move out. I'm freaking out. What am I going to do? It's been done the whole time. And how stupid was I? You don't have 4 attempts on your life in a few months unless somebody's after you. So I look up and they're getting flu shots. And I go ahead and I get one along the long pharmacy. I got dizzy. I sat down on the bench. I'm like, just breathe. I hear the voice. I can't believe she's here. It's the same voice of my Connor and the little boy that chased me across the parking lot. I barely got away from him. I'm like, oh my God, where is he? I stand up. He comes up behind me. I'd stab him right here now if it wasn't for security guard. And the lady with him was like, "If you're going to stab her, you're going to just stab her." No, he's like, "I can't. I won't make it out." "Well, they're arguing now. I turned my cart in front of the bank. I thought you were going to have to do it in front of someone." I went over it again. And the pizza, I look over and the Pizza Hut lady's walking around. The waitress, older blonde lady, comes up and says, "I get paid to watch her." And the banker's yelling at him. The lady's down, and she's like, "No, I get paid to watch her." And while they're going at it, and he's like, "Lady, I mean, it won't be worth me." Then somebody's paying her to stop me. The guy that tried to kidnap me, tried to carjack me, just threatened to knife me, walks off and around me, and she walks off too. And David instantly calls me, and I put him on hold. I didn't know if they had somebody with a gun to my head. If they had another person ready to knife me, I was too afraid to move. I got my count. I looked up. There was a group of people. I got in the group of people, freaked out, drove down to Walmart 62, 20 miles away, freaking out, just driving. And I pull in to get gas. An African American lady spits in my face. Her and her white boyfriend's harassing me. Another guy with black hair, black eyes, and eagle tattoo this time because there are 2 different guys. One's 30 to 40, the attempted kidnapper, threatened a knife, or attempted carjacker, has black hair, black eyes, 6 foot, white. And the other one is the same thing, but he's 40 to 50, black hair, black eyes, eagle tattoo, 40 to 50. Okay. It's the only thing different between them. One's about 10 years older and the eagle tattoo. Okay. I got away from him and come up to me. "What a shame." Come staring at him. I'm like, "Oh my God, away from that freak." I get home. Dave's at the end of the driveway. "Karen, my girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns the place. You won't be able to stand." He said that, so I went to the police. And I called the FBI because that's what they've been waiting for. Her dad is the FBI. He's out of the area and he's running a scam. So I called the hotline. All of a sudden, I'm drugged up so bad I can't get out of bed. 3rd day, I get up. I'm like, "What is wrong with me? I feel like I'm drunk." And I'm sitting on the front porch. It's like, I could call that guy back. And because they will have they give like, I talked to the hotline. I called the 1-800-FBI hotline. We'll have an agent call you back. I called and left a number. I remember waking up and hearing it ring and going, I can't, and crying. I go back to sleep. They had me drugged up that Okay, the third day I make myself get up. I'm sitting on the front porch, just like I gotta get blood pumping. And I thought, I don't want to leave the property. My God, what if they have something? So I start mowing the lawn. I'm like, think. I can walk up and down the piece up and down the front, look stupid mowing the lawn. And by halfway done, I thought I already given Sarah's information where she had heard it out in the mall from Katie. Her and her old manager and her old coworker had went to work with home manager and old coworker went to work with Katie, and then Sarah at sales, because of her old manager and old coworker with Katie, they all went out to eat after work, and Katie works at Ashcroft and Oak, and she was telling how they're planning on killing. And they all three came up to me and my ex-husband. So like, of course I'll witness for you. So I bought her card, put Will's number in it. I didn't call him back. Went up to Zales on the way to church. Her manager put it in her locker. We went up to Apostolic Church of Bremerton. Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. And I walk off. Okay. Dave comes in. What's this about? This FBI agent coming up with threats. And I'm like, he can't go tell me. That's obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence. He can't go tell him. But he's cutting a deal with him. Witnessed by a Stark County sheriff that looks like Judge Timothy Ludick. See, in his fright, Paymer points at the wrong guy while he's screaming at him. Okay? I walk off, and he verifies it. By the way, he showed up in his uniform. People are like, he's so stupid showing up in his uniform. Yeah. And they got a hold of him. Okay, November 6, 22, Trinity Gospel Temple. They were talking about that officer verifying that agent told on me before I called back. He didn't tell on him before. Okay. So now we're going to go forward. The next day, Dave, we get out in the vehicle. Dave's swinging at me, threatening my life. Now I get home. I run from him. The next day, I have to call that agent back. I call him back. I try to tell him what happened. How do you think? You liar? I'm like, what? Now I'm crying rivers of tears. Rivers of tears. You liar, you confess your liar. How much you know? I'm like, what? He said, I'll come up and arrest you. You hear me? You say it. I'm like, he said, I said, say it. No, I had already been drugged up. You don't even process right now. It's like, fine, whatever. He said, say it. So he said, like, you're gonna help me? Ah, I don't have to. What kind of sick bastard does that to a woman that's panicking? Sick bastard. Badgering Law 1729. Department of Justice. He just went to jail for that. And it's not usable. You know, he has a girlfriend. And then said, stop, you know, no. I'll list you an informant. Okay? Now, I can't think I'm lying, because this would have been fraud then. Right? I can't think that I did anything wrong, because everything gets expunged right now then. Right? I'll list you an informant. Nothing legally stated dated against you again. You have a life of pieces. Okay? You'll get $5,000 a month. I have an account set up for when this is over. Okay? You'll have money. He said, and for working this case. Okay? The Witness Protection Program, the only requirement is to be in there. You're a victim or a witness of a violent crime that the government's looking into that case. And for your testimony, they put you in the Witness Protection Program. It comes with $60,000 a year, paid housing, paid medical card, and paid living expenses, and then 24-hour police protective custody. And they can't take it away from you for life. And diplomatic immunity, so they can't pull a fast one. All right. So he's like, and then gives me all these big promises. But you tell someone else you're crazy and no one can help me. He can't tell people they can't help me. He can't list me crazy. He's badgering me again. He's bullying me and staying quiet so he can steal that money. That's what all this was about. Okay? Yeah. That's why they helped. And then they found out Dave. Dave always liked to break how much life insurance policy he had. $375 life. We had a $200,000 house. We had a small insurance policy on it, paid off. I had $18,000 in jewelry, which they bullied me back on a threat on my granddaughter's life and in front of everybody in Wendy's. Right after she was born, bullied me into giving a back, screaming at me in large men. Okay? In front of my daughter-in-law and everybody while I was home. Sick bastards. Okay? And then they sold the police login to the protective light case for everybody to watch. And watch them drug me, hurt me, rape, torture me. like it's some kind of reality show for them to make $25 a pop. It's like, no, it's like they said everybody knows what's going on about our family. Okay, he's sick, serial killer, the agent from out the area, in it with a retired judge, in it with drug dealers. Tell you what, it's really sick when I even told my kids about, well, you know, when 6 days, somebody kicked at my door. I know that. I said, remember the giant bruises, orange lemon size, grapefruit size, all over me? Yeah, I remember that. Remember when I was passed out the first week? Yeah. You were just working, turning them along the neighborhood on me? Yeah. We were just working. No. I work this hard now. I don't get those kind of bruises. I just get little impact ones, tiny ones if you're moving some. You don't get giant ones. And I said they were day rape trucking me. That's why I was throwing up. That's why I was getting sick. That's why I was almost passing out. And where they kicked at my door, they said some freak was stalking me and your dad. Their mouths, see, when reality of things that were happening makes sense. And I said some guy must have got drunk or high and came in and confessed in Walmart 62 on November 18, 22. Came in and started screaming while I'm in the hair salon. There's a big old camera with tape and audio above him and one in the hair salon. All the tapes before were me and not her. Ha 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 ha. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it. It was all me and not her. And for all these people to remove, well, if it was just you, I could even fix it. I know it's that bad. They still fall for it. Ha 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 ha. November 24th, 22, Mercy Medical. In the emergency room, tape and audio. The nurse that took care of me was talking, I think, to the Lady Canton officer walking around. If not, it was another officer agent outside and said, you know, we all heard that Eric made fun of us for falling for this and nobody say a word. Well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. I found out those men even ran experiments on her and they need to realize how not funny this is. No one's even ever said anything bad about her. No, my whole family spoke highly of me. I can give you a whole long list of the one set of grandkids. They're so sick and pathetic with what they do. My ex-daughter-in-law that just left my son became friends with her and on Thanksgiving of 18 in a legally booked house because an officer went to Dave and talked to Dave per requirement of Department of Justice. Police and agencies can only be in a home under threat of life. They have to speak to everyone before they start. It's abuse and misconduct. And it goes to right to privacy and legal search and seizure. All the police even say that'd be illegal even for the FBI to be in my home. Okay? So 4th Amendment, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. For every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10. Okay? Conflict of interest is 1 to 10 and $1 million fine. All right. On Thanksgiving of 18, my grandchildren, Melissa's kids, they had told Flora for the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Grandma needs to get out, Michelle. Okay. Then later on to Flora for we're making everything up. Well, with being in police protected custody, my husband was always, when I was out, there would be guys around me all the time and ladies, and they'd be following me around, but they follow everybody around. They found Michelle and Melissa friends, and they actually found them telling the kids to lie. Well, they're called documenting games of pretend masculine police. Court, like Flora said, October 23rd, 2019. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. It was games of pretend. October 5th, 21, Huntington Bank on Cleveland Avenue by Fishers in Canton. 1:53 p.m. And I want Melissa getting no money on this. That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They didn't want to help her. They're documenting me games of pretend as a mass and police, but in the Stark County Sheriff's were laughing at Kurt just found out those kids were lying to Islam. Mancannon, because they sold the log in Mancannon, May 19. If you didn't hear John's kids right, Karen on the third step up, Dave's girlfriend in the shower. It's Michelle. Everybody knows they lied. Yeah. And they lied on my family, Danny and John. They were helping out with the shower scene, having somebody go after me. And they didn't know. And matter of fact, November 13, 22, at about 6 o'clock in the evening, I was talking to her about this one lady, Krista, in my church, following me around because they're telling me you had charges. Follow me. Why on earth would people believe you had charges, Karen? As if you would do anything wrong. That would be a lie. They're clueless. They were lying on them, that they were lying on me to help them get away with this crazy shit, and they knew nothing. It's just a hurricane of lies. You know, I was even out on my clients out on Turquoise Street. You know what? Some lady was out there. We asked Melissa why she had all those kids make everything up. Oh, we just try to help them get the house. It's like, arrest the dumb bitch. You know, I was in Dollar General last summer. I don't even think she's involved anymore because her friends were talking about it with her kids. And said, should we say something? Said, no. Kenzie's mom said not to bother. They already confronted her that they knew all the kids lied a long time ago. 18. They're documenting in games of pretend. They had to make up all kinds of crazy shit. And sick shit, too. That's why they're laughing about it. They didn't understand what they were saying. You know, they need to go to jail if they're going to keep lying and causing hate crimes and inducing panic. They can go to juvie. They've already told them to knock it off since 18. And all the police know they lied. It's for we all know this woman is innocent. The main cop that went to Dave was in the back of Liberty House here, June of 19. The worst thing he ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and probably we can wipe that one out. Yeah. And Lamar Sharp, Amar, Michael Broswell, and Michael that worked at CSE Bank, Canton Police, that worked at CSE Bank on Market. They actually knew my security. They were in the back. The heavyset white guy was in the back. They told the North Canton Jackson Police in May of 19. At Liberty House here on Hills and Dales Road. All the police know I'm innocent. October 2020 FedEx, for we all know this woman's innocent. For we all know. So none of this is funny. And my family did speak highly of me. And they knew nothing of this craziness. And they just run around. I bought Ty the other day. Oh, the police are having us personally help them. Would you like to help harass them? The police aren't having you help them harass me. As a matter of fact, they told me if anybody harassed me, call them and they'll arrest them. They try to blame the Portage County Sheriffs for kicking in my door. I went up and talked to them. And I saw what these people are saying they did is illegal. None of our officers were in your home or anybody else's home outside to protect your life. I said, you have to have the statements first or you can't look or listen. He's like, yes. I said, it'd be illegal too. Yes. And what these people are saying they did is illegal. It is stalking. They did it on their own. That agent out of his area and that retired judge, I think that's his dad or his uncle. And those, that Alec or Alex, the white-haired guy with his hair part on the side, and the Bill from Freemason is probably Michelle's brothers or cousins. Because they're all spending each other. Because what on earth would a Stark County FBI task force in the courthouse of Canton do with anything in Portage County when Akron's over it? And I called the hotline. It wasn't even in his area. He grabbed it off the hotline. And like Officer Reinhardt Louisville, somebody sent him over to talk to me, and I was telling him about their tapes before. He started giggling like a little girl. It comes down to no matter what. Until we'll take your statement and agree to protect you, there's nothing else. But protective light cases with statements. Otherwise, we couldn't look or listen. It'd be illegal to. It is. And then working things with conflict of interest, and you don't have to worry about people framing you. And I can't be his only victim. They have been yelling that it's only them stealing from the case all the way to Pennsylvania, North Canton, Canton, Madison. Yeah, everybody's talking alliance. That it's just them stealing from the case. They have embezzled over $300,000 from my case alone. And with their date rape drug, if you Google what date rape drug is injectable and you're sleepwalking, it's ketamine. Ketamine, Rufinol, and Profanol, you walk up and jab them with it. And it gives a PCP thing where you have no memory. And you're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. You're just gone. Your conscious is chemically shut down and your subconscious comes up and you have no memory. It's not funny. One of my coworkers got raped and ended up having a little boy and doesn't know who raped her. It happened to her. One of my neighbors got date rape drugged in a bar. It was a guy. And he didn't know. He went out. He drove around high all night. Went to the bank, went out to eat, went home, changed his shoes, and wore off. He didn't know. He told everybody he was astronaut and crazy stuff. And they let him leave a bar high. It's not funny roofing somebody. You're sleepwalking. Now, none of this is funny. That I cannot be this agent's first victim of framing people and then embezzling money. Embezzlement charges. If money is meant for one person and it is withheld, it's embezzlement. If it is misdirected to another person than the first person it was originally meant for, it is embezzlement. Under $100 is 1 year, up to 1 year and 1 year in prison. Anything over $1,000 is 5 to 30 years. They have stolen over $300,000 $10,000 from my case. I haven't received a dime. And they have been lying. They have been stealing every dime from the case. And they said it's that one guy. It's the guy that called me back. Stealing every dime for himself. And he stole it for himself. I cannot be his first victim. I can't be his only victim. If they would pull his cases and then form it, and you're in it for life. Like my one friend from the prosecutor's office, they can't drop you. Because they can't say good luck on your own, see you bye. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. You go into a witness protection program, they agree to protect you. They can't drop you for any reason. Huh? Because that's where he couldn't have thought I was lying. Because it's fraud. He couldn't open the account. Huh? He couldn't have thought I did anything wrong that he wasn't willing to expunge out because I go into diplomatic immunity and I can't be charged with anything again. And he never mentioned anything. I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. Why? It's because we always knew this woman was innocent. For we all know. Like the investigator said, we were never interested in you. Huh? Think about that. Don't you think if I did something wrong, somebody would have knocked on my door? Nobody did. Because they made the whole thing up. That's why that Eric was laughing at these people for falling for it. While that agent is stealing $5,000 to $10,000 from the federal government every month. And like I said, they probably date, rape, drug, date. And they probably had him sign over everything and have this will already made up. And once he's dead, they'll look at the kids. Well, you knew we dated. I must have meant more to him than you. He left me the house and all the money. Because he's worth $600,000 dead. It's all about the fucking money. And you don't remember. You know, somebody said those drugs that they give you, that date rape drug, they could have actually drugged the people that took down the towers and they wouldn't even remember they did it. And they died. You do and say what you're told. You're actually a human robot. It looks like you're going along with it. You're happy. And you have no memory because your subconscious is chemically shut down. Your conscious is shut down. Your subconscious, you're sleepwalking. You have no idea. You just go along with everything. It's not funny to do that to human beings.